A headline alleging that Princess Victoria had personally welcomed Alexandra Ela to Rome went viral on tennis social media on May 3, 2026. There was only one issue. Officials from the tournament had no documentation of it ever occurring. However, that isn't the real tale. For a headline like that to go viral in the first place, it has to be accurate. Because Alexandra Ela entered Foro Italico with a number 42 rating, a 2 and 3 record on clay, and an enormous fan base that prompted tournament management to begin reorganizing their operations around her. Among the term fatal has been used by those directors to characterize what occurs when Eala is placed on the incorrect court. The question Rome hasn't yet been able to respond to is straightforward, and the Italian Open takes place from May 5th through May 17th. Is the player able to match the magnitude of the phenomenon she has already attained?
The organizers need to keep more in mind where the players are from and what the actual fan base is.
You must comprehend the true nature of Alexandra Ela in order to comprehend what is happening in Rome. Furthermore, compared to the mythology, the facts here are significantly more precise. Eala was born in Quezon City, Philippines on May 23, 2005. She doesn't fit the description of a passive defensive baseliner. She is 1.75 meters tall and plays left-handed with a two-handed backhand. Coaches Joan Bosch and Alejandro Viena at the Rafa Nadal Academy in Mallorca influenced her technical growth. In order to improve her mechanics on clay, Eala returned to that same academy in late April 2026 between the Madrid Open and Rome. In March 2020, Eala became a professional. The ensuing years were hardly glamorous. Her career record now stands at 210 wins and 128 losses, or a 62.13% winning rate, with 5 ITF singles titles distributed throughout Manacor, Chiang Rai, Grenoble, and Rancho Santa Fe. One account simply identifies her as _1________. She is among the top 400 all-time earners in the sport with $1,882,099 in career prize money as of May 4, 2026. However, none of that explains why her schedule is causing tournament directors to lose their sleep.
Tennis country. You can hardly even remember a player from the Philippines, and then you all of a sudden get this.
The Miami Open's tournament director is James Blake. Additionally, Blake has documentation rather than conjecture regarding Alexandra Ela. Blake made it clear that Eala cannot be transferred to smaller courts. Because of how many people attend her matches, the decision was made purely for safety and logistical reasons rather than as a favor or a marketing ploy. He admitted that previous competitions had made what he called fatal scheduling errors, placing players with enormous fan bases on secondary courts, which led to safety issues and the physical exclusion of hundreds of spectators from games. Blake characterized the interest in Eala on a global scale as high, attracting what he described as a cultural melting pot of viewers from around the world, making her contests like home games. That is not the terminology used in news releases. That's a tournament director explaining a structural issue that venues weren't designed to deal with. At that point, the Rome headline begins to make a completely different kind of sense. Blake's depiction of reality did not develop gradually over many years. It was developed during a single competition. Alexandra Ela entered the 2025 Miami Open as a wild card with a ranking outside of the top 100 and made it to the semifinals. Eala accomplished this by defeating 3 of the biggest names in women's tennis, Iga Swiatek, Yelena Ostapenko, and Madison Keys, back-to-back. 390 ranking points were earned during that run, representing around 25% of her overall ranking weight over the course of the next 12 months. However, not only did one tournament run alter her ranking, but it also altered the standards used to assign courts. Blake and the Miami Open realized that a player outside of the top 100 was creating fan demand that no secondary court could match, something that the numbers alone were unable to demonstrate. At that point, the discrepancy between what the ranking system stated and Alexandra Ela's value, as evidenced by the crowd's tangible displays of her worth. And even when the tournament was over, that disparity persisted, following Eala to Rome.
Losses she takes, this is part of the learning experience. She's too good a player, she'll figure it out, and what I like is her resilience.
That gap had a name by 2026. The necessity to defend the exceptional points you gained during a breakthrough season under the full weight of expectations that did not exist when you originally got them is known as the tax of success. Eala's 2026 campaign is a consolidation under intense pressure rather than a collapse. On March 16, 2026, she achieved a career high of number 29. This was based on a run to the quarterfinals of the Dubai Tennis Championships, where she defeated Jasmine Paolini, a player ranked in the top 10, before losing to Coco Gauff, and a round of 16 at Indian Wells, where Gauff herself withdrew from their match after trailing 6-2, 2-0'd. However, the clay swing has revealed a significant gap. Elise Mertens defeated her 6-2, 6-1 in the Madrid Open second round. Leylah Fernandez defeated them in the first round in Stuttgart, giving them a 2-3 record going into Rome. Following Madrid, on April 24, Eala withdrew from the WTA 125 Catalonia Open and returned immediately to the Rafa Nadal Academy to resolve the issue. A YouTube channel was busily reworking the entire story as Eala was working on it. The exact allegations that are making the rounds about Rome include Princess Vittoria of Savoy publicly greeting Eala to the city and an anonymous official stating, "I've never seen a crowd like hers in 40 years." They originated from in early May 2026, 10 Analysis, a YouTube channel, released a video featuring precisely those headlines. This is what the record truly demonstrates. There is absolutely no record of Vittoria of Savoy and Alexandra Ela meeting, according to a comprehensive examination of official records from the Internazionale BNL d'Italia, the Italian Open itself. No interviews with WTA representatives, tournament officials, or reputable tennis journalists mention the 40-year quote. These titles are _____________________________________________________________________________________________________________________:_________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________according to a systematic study of similar content from channels like this one, yet they were incredibly successful, which calls into question the official record. Doesn't respond. Why were so many people willing to trust these statements if they were designed to get clicks? This is the part of the paperwork that genuinely reframes everything. Unverified is the _____________quote ____________. However, there is real evidence to support the underlying assertion that Alexandra Ela attracts audiences that have never been seen for a player of her age and stature. Regardless of where her rating indicates that she belongs, James Blake has already made it institutional policy to place Eala on center court. Not because of politics, but rather because of the actual number of attendees. Instead of creating a phenomena, 10 Analysis identified a vacuum. Eala is ranked 42nd in the official WTA ranking system. The fact that a Miami tournament director used the phrase _______11____11_____ to describe what happens when she's on the wrong court is beyond the scope of that number. It doesn't show that the number of spectators at her matches surpasses the capacity of secondary venues. For pressuring James Blake to reorganize the allocation of courts, no ranking point is given. To bridge that gap, a YouTube channel created a princess. And the masses believed what it said because they already knew what the ranking system was refusing to reveal.
Remember a player from the Philippines, and then you all of a sudden get this.
Alexandra Ela is ranked 42nd in the world as of May 4th, 2026. Foro Italico is where she is. Aryna Sabalenka, Iga Swiatek, Elena Rybakina, Coco Gauff, and Jasmine Paolini are among the competitors in the Italian Open. The backup plan is in place in case Eala's tournament concludes early. The final events leading up to the French Open were the Parma Ladies Open and the Strasbourg Grand Prix. Her declared objective is to outperform her 2025 French Open performance, in which she was eliminated in the first round of 128. The first Filipino player to rank in the top 30 is Eala, the first player in the Open era to win more than one match against the top 10 players. The record describes that the weight of a whole country's expectations carried into every game, on every surface, and in every draw is a real, measurable pressure. Eala was sent back to Rome by the Rafa Nadal Academy with a backup plan and repaired clay mechanics. Rome doesn't yet know if that will be sufficient to convert fan demand into ranking points at a WTA 1000 event. To be honest, that's the only important question.